Hey guys, what's good everybody? As you see this is Bandito on the mic. And I do want to say, I want to thank y'all so much again for 700 subscribers. I mean, this is a mad appreciation of what everybody has done for me over the last 2 or 3 years now, or 2 years now since my start of my YouTube channel. But I wanted to say, what it is because I have been dealing with a bunch of stuff. Like college. College has been one of the big factors that's been happening over the last, several years, which has been a big leading contributing factor to why I have been falling behind with school. Because one big thing is I've been listening to too many heads, been doing this. But here's the thing: if school gets too much until the KCDO ends, we're gonna lower our videos per week from 4 down to 3 again. Because the only reason why we're at 3 videos per week is because of the likes of, for example, what's their name? Because of the KCDL. That's why we have the 3 videos. We will revert back to the 2 videos per week if the KCDL slows down or we get out of playoffs and stuff like that. But I hope we don't, because I do need a little bit of the money. So we have that going through. And speaking of money and everything, I want to shout out to whoever else is there, because Sierra, my friend Sierra Quill, has finally got out of her debt. I kind of said that already in some videos. But yeah, she did that. But also another thing is something has been happening over the last couple of years. Well, not years, last couple of months. And I also want to say, he has been a friend of the channel for a while. But like I said in my server, like I said, whatever, I am no longer affiliating myself with Don Mephisto. Even though it's hard to believe, but Don Mephisto has said outright bigoted stuff. I mean, I'm not gonna say what he actually said, but like, for what he has, said on accordance, I do not longer support him in his actions, and I do hope for the best for him, and I do not mind him being around. It's just kind of the decision of, hey, I mean, I'm good with all people. It's just I'm not gonna support somebody that's being outright racist towards other people because this happens. So that's kind of my standpoint is at right now. But I want to say that, but I want to shout out to Joey Pokane for even helping me out in the long run, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be at 600 right now, or even 700 at this point. So I want to shout out Joey Pokane himself, because he's the goddamn GOAT. But also, I also want to finish off, my little plug and shout out to, these people, and that, rather than not affiliating myself with Don Mephisto, I decided to bring upon myself to say, congratulations to whoever else who's joined along. I would appreciate to Diet Tight, Joey Pokegame, the Uzi Gunner, and all these other people. But my little update is, compared to all that stuff, is hopefully we can get through several leagues. I've been trying to work with my good friend Soda SD, and Soda SD has been really trying to contribute to a potential Generation 1 draft. That's why I kind of shouted, that's why I plugged it up and everything, try to put an RBY OU, because I do want this Generation 1 draft to happen, because, Generation 1 has been a part of me since the beginning of this channel, and since the beginning of my competitive Pokemon career. But besides that, other news, so if you heard from Joey Pokemon stuff, or in other sites and everything with YouTube, YouTube circles with that, originally Mephisto and I Mephisto wanted me and him to collaborate on a Generation 9 mid-tier draft league. And as you've seen where I said I no longer would want to affiliate with him, that draft league is no longer going to be able to happen. But I will plug in my Discord server like I always do. But I will plug in my Discord server, and what I'm going to do is I will give y'all, whatever time or chance of whatever to happen, and we will be trying to make this mid-tier draft happen. So whatever happens with that mid-tier draft, we're going to happen, and hopefully we can try to invite some bigger people to come in, or try to get, say, Muffin or Diet Tide, or have that little Gen 9 draft for a little break after the fact of the one last ride shenanigans has been going on for Diet Tide. But yeah, no, that's what I'm going to say, and I do hope that people want to play around in this draft league. And I'm going to be looking around for potential talent as well because, YouTube is YouTube and I want to have some fun with that. But yeah, it's kind of where I'm at right now. As you see, Pokemon's been on the back burner as of right now because of work, because of school, and now because of the whole situation with, my work finally being let off and stuff. I'm finally back to making content like I should be. Hopefully it'll continue, but if it isn't, then I could just at least call myself out on it because I shouldn't be procrastinating or doing all these other things because, oh, this guy's procrastinating, this guy's doing this. And it's kind of like I have to keep myself accountable. So, but yeah, that's kind of how it is. But as you see, hopefully we have some fun with that. Hopefully we could play some more games and see what we could do from there. But I mean, I won't be surprised if we hit 1,000 subs or 800 if we keep up with this progression. So coming up, I will be bringing up another video in the next couple of hours or tomorrow morning. Since I haven't been posting videos because of school, there's a chance that I will bring a back-to-back-to-back video. Which why we call it the back-to-back-to-back, because of course today we'll be bringing up this video. Tomorrow I will be bringing up the a metagame pick, which is bad and boosted. And finally, our final pick would be, how do I put it, our final pick would try to be something on the coordination of something around that happened. So I'm planning around bad and boosted tomorrow or today, depending on how y'all feel. But I will try to make a double upload. But if it's not recommended, then I will bring in bad and boosted tomorrow. Fix the Pokemon Swampert will come in on Friday, like it should be. And then after that, after Fix the Pokemon Swampert will come in tomorrow. Not tomorrow, yeah, after it'll be coming in tomorrow. What will be called? After we picked up tomorrow and stuff like that, we will be going into a another KCBL game. We'll be fighting against somebody else this week, and I'm nervous because I am on a bad string. But I mean, I'm not gonna be too nervous about it because things happen, and of course it's not really their fault for things. I mean, it's not really that. But I've seen a lot of things happening. Not gonna say any names for my matchup versus Nova. There's no fault on Nova for having them deal with all that stuff happening to them. There's no fault on their own that that they played the way they played because they played safe, and I highly respect that. But I know that I kind of put it out in my mind like, hey, this is very disrespectful. This isn't this happening. And I want to apologize to Nova about this because it is no excuse to have this happen when I was on a downturn. And I'm not going to say anything else besides that. I can comment it down below, but I'm not going to say any names of why at the time then my mental state was not really in the best shape. But I'm going to say how it is. But, it's kind of how we play out with things. But I mean, hopefully we can have some fun and not deal with all the stuff happening. So it is what it is. And as you see, this is Cursed Body. This is Wyland. Somehow it missed. You're just going to do this for free damage. Yep. Yeah, somehow we got the damage up. And it's crazy. There's Pikachu Hoenn. And as you see, but yeah, no, I'm just thinking turns, playing this game out. But yeah, I want to say to everybody, I do love y'all. Thank y'all again for 700 subs, and potentially, whatever happens, happens. And for whatever happens, they say, for a potential Bandito draft and everything, the whole idea of the Bandito draft league is this. What did I say about the whole Bandito? Well, it will be called the Bandito the Swampert Draft League or the BSDL. That's kind of the funny name about it, but that's kind of how it is. Hopefully the BSDL will finally come up and show out it and play out the game. But yeah, I wanted to hope y'all have a great one, y'all. Y'all stay safe, and Bandito out.